Can you make money from webcomics? If you enjoy making art, you might want to get paid for doing it. But how much will you make? We'll be answering this question along with a few others, including the most important one: is this a hobby or a job? This video is sponsored by our patrons on Patreon and by Novaborn Tale of Inferno, which is the comic that we make and would be delighted if you would check out. And by reading Novaborn, you'll be supporting our content. For the purpose of education, I will be pulling the numbers from our comic for reference. There are some factors to keep in mind with this. For instance, romance does far better in comics and novels than any other genre. Additionally, for the past few months we have been on hiatus while we reorganized, learned, and tried some new time-saving techniques. The first thing you need to realize when you start talking about making money in comics is that you have become a business person, an entrepreneur as the French say. As an entrepreneur, there are 3 facts that you need to become accustomed to. First off, you are creating a product for someone else, a customer. Second, you need to get that product to the customer. Third, you need to consistently provide that product to the customer. Odds are you have a story you want to tell. That's why you're making a comic. You have an experience that you've created through time, sweat, and tears that you want to share with the world. Sadly, you might find that there are very few people who care about your story. People like different things, and some things are more valuable than others. That's just the way things are, and we can't force people to like something that they don't. But that's okay. As an example, here in Canada, we have a gum called Thrills with a catchphrase, "It still tastes like soap." And it does. And people like it. It literally tastes like a bar of soap in your mouth. Not everyone likes it. They would never try to be the next 5 gum, because only a small number of people like it. But enough that they keep making it. It's called a niche. As the dictionary describes it, a niche is a specialized segment of the market for a particular kind of product or service. And your unique little comic can find a niche of people who are interested in what you do. Or you might find your story is super popular with a lot of people. The important thing is to make it into a genre that you enjoy, because how much you care about the product will be obvious to the customer. So if you hate romance, don't make a romance, even though that's where the majority of the market is. Your customers, that is your readers, will be able to tell that your heart is not in it. I have talked about the 2 biggest webcomic sites already on our video, Webtoons versus Tapas, so I won't go into too much detail on that. But as an update to that video, I will say that you can finally schedule comics on Webtoon, which probably isn't because of our little video, but you can't prove it's not. So you may have the idea to start your own website for your own comic. Don't do that. It's not a good idea to start with. That'd be like making your own website like YouTube to host videos. No one is going to find them, let alone watch them. There are only so many people reading webcomics online, and they mostly stick to 1 or 2 sites, if they can help it. These sites already have customers for you, so just use their services. But how much do you make from these websites? That is the question you've had burning in your mind since you clicked on this video, and I will delay no longer. On Tapas, there are 2 ways of making money: ad revenue and ink support sent through the wonderful readers. And as you can see here, it's not much. With 1,218 subscribers and 83 episodes, we have made $2.88 on ads since we started in 2017. A much larger number, $15.67, comes from our wonderful contributors who sent us ink, which means we have a grand total of $13.87 in revenue. But wait, you say, you did the math wrong. I don't know what's happening here. It says at the bottom that our total earnings are $18.55, so I don't know if the money is expired or if that's their cut. Meanwhile, we have yet to be able to take the cash out, since you need a minimum of $25 to withdraw anything. In other words, we have yet to receive any of our earnings from Tapas. Well, that was depressing. Let's move on to Webtoons. The situation is much better here with our 85 updates, 22,646 subscribers. On Webtoons, it says we've made $339.91, which was paid out automatically in $100 increments through Patreon, although it can now be paid directly to your PayPal account. They had an older system that paid out as well, but they didn't keep the numbers on it, so I can't say too much on it. And the older system isn't active anymore, so it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure we've made more than that. Like I said in our Webtoons versus Tapas video, Webtoons doesn't keep stats for very long, which isn't great. On Patreon, we make about $55 US. We are also looking into starting a different subscription-based platform for those who don't like Patreon. And because you should always have alternative forms of income because we live in a crazy world. And that's it. We have merchandise on Redbubble, but we haven't sold anything there yet. And we won't be selling a physical copy of the comic until it is complete. Which is something we plan on doing because some people prefer the physical copy, and we can get them one. Eventually. When it is done. We don't make much money on our webcomic, but that's okay. Our bottom line is that we love telling our story. But if you want to make more money, you need more subscribers. And you need a quality story and a little luck to grow an audience. And you need to keep making your comic consistently. Since we have been on hiatus, we have paused our Patreon. Our views have dropped drastically on Webtoons to the point where we no longer qualify for ad revenue. You need about 10,000 views a month to qualify. When you don't post on Webtoon, the algorithm shuffles you out and focuses on current and updated comics. This is why we are gearing up to start again. Unfortunately, we're met with the realization that every time we take a break, we'll be losing subscribers. Which is why we started looking into ways to make the comic quicker, but that's a topic for another video. We also only released a page every 2 weeks, which isn't a ton of content and a fairly slow upload rate. If we released it quicker, we could have increased our income, but I don't know by how much. In conclusion, comics can make money, but it will take time and a lot of work, and it still won't be that much. I think if we had twice the pages we currently had, things would be a lot more profitable. But that's a lot of work to do on a consistent basis. Plus, you need to make a lot of content to write that much. Thankfully, I still have a lot of comic to make. For us, even if our comic isn't profitable, it's okay, because that wasn't the point. This comic was actually made to be a promotion for our game, and the Novaborn universe in general. So, if it made money, that was a bonus. However, as the world around us became more unstable, we put our game on ice and focused on our comic and just surviving. But even if we don't end up making the game, I think the story will be worth telling. Which is why I close by saying you don't need to worry about algorithms and incomes. You don't need to make comics to make money. You can just write stories that are for you or for a few friends. Making a comic can be a hobby instead of a job. And that's okay. I hope you like this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below and I will answer them there or maybe make a video about it. If you enjoyed this video, you can help us out by giving us a like and subscribing for more content. Special thanks to our patrons for supporting our work. We are preparing for a big return with more pages, which is probably already happening by the time that you actually see this video, and be posting new content onto Webtoons and to Pass. So if you want to get in on the comic, it's going up right now, as soon as this video's up, probably. I don't know. Thank you for watching, good luck with your endeavors, and have a wonderful day.